Here, Sean, me and you, together.
Here we are.
Anyway, guys, this Bellyup broadcast, we're down here at Copacetic in the scoreboard, talking to the owner, Sean, a little bit about what's going on. So this is our first time actually doing something together live. No, I take that.
It is. After all these years, I think this is the first time.
I mean, minus the bacon eating contest.
Minus the bacon.
You got second place, by the way. You got second place in the bacon eating contest probably 18, 15, something years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell these guys how we met. A lot of people don't know why our age difference, and we still are like super good friends.
Sure. Well, no, I had a friend of mine, Colt Bush. He actually designed our Copacetic logo. Huge Chicago sports fan. And when I turned 21 in 2008, he was my roommate. He said, "This is where we got to go. It's the best place to go for sports, Chicagoland sports." And that was the first time I set foot in the DT Kirby's, maybe 2 months after you guys had opened. And,
yeah, not very long, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
You know, and the way you operate the business, friend everyone who walks in the door. It just is it's been great knowing you for all these years.
Well, to my defense, we only had 30 seats, so it wasn't that hard to meet that many people. And you already said, you said 2008. That's a long time. I don't think most people understand how well we got together. Once we've done the Chicago thing and the hot dogs and the bacon and all that, you set up the very original Jameson tap down at DT Kirby's. You were working for who back then?
Well, then I was working for Chris Johnson at People's Brewing Company.
Right, yeah. And we didn't know how to do it. We had no clue. So you're up there, and we're talking about a tiny little crawl space down below, trying to figure out how to get this Jameson tap, which was my signature beer at that particular time. But that's it. I bet you get this hassle all the time.
Okay.
What's with Copacetic? What's the name?
Well, Copacetic was a word that my grandfather used all the time. And he was out in Denver, we were living here, and we'd visit him maybe twice a year. I remember vividly. One time I walked in, he's in his Lazy Boy, he's smoking a cigar, he's watching the Avalanche on TV. And I said, "Hey, Grandpa, it's me, what's up?" He took a long draw off his cigar and said, "It's all Copacetic."
Yeah.
I didn't know what it meant at the time, but that feeling of whatever Copacetic is, if that's what he's doing right now, is how I always want to feel. When I was 21, I was working at People's and started developing my own brand. Copacetic stood out. I think it still embodies everything that I get out of brewing, out of my bar. Sure. It's all Copacetic.
Well, and I'm on your grandfather's side, and I am that cigar smoking grandfather that I mean, no bones about it, guys. Hey, I'm feeling good. This is a fine way to live life, and a cigar kind of brings that together. And you ask my kids, and my logo, it's definitely on that. So we're talking. After that being said, 7 years later, does Copacetic still mean the same thing? Is it still embodied in this beautiful? I'm talking about beautiful building. I love this building. I mean, I know it's an old beat up. What do they call that? A White County something or other.
Yeah, it was a highway department garage. Yeah. It has the character. It's nearly 100 years old.
Yeah.
It fits the beer factory theme.
Sure.
But no, every day I enjoy keeping it Copacetic.
Sure.
I think the way that we brew the beers, we do the food, I think the approach and the ambiance overall is still Copacetic, still fits.
But again, I think when somebody walks in here, and I've known a lot of your friends in and out coming through that, they've been at my place, they've been here, part of Monticello and White County and the whole surrounding areas. It does have that feel. When you walk in here, you got this long bar and people just sit down. I can be at this end of the bar and somebody be down there and they hear something, and next thing you know, we're all talking about it. And that embodies Copacetic, at least in my head, that I'm not you making all this stuff, but I am getting to feel a part of it, which to my opinion is just super cool.
We mentioned worked at People's Brewing Company, and Chris always told me he named his brewery People's because it was the people that made the beer, the people that made the character. And you're exactly right. I love the high ceilings we have in here.
Oh, super cool.
But the ambiance between our staff and our regulars that come in really make the place.
It's pretty cool because I wasn't here opening day. I was here very close to your opening day 7 years ago. But I see all these guys like super proud that they're part of the beer club. What is it called?
Yeah, it's our factory union.
Factory union. It's weird because I always take a union break in the middle of all my stuff. So, said you started off at People's. Before that, were you brewing before that, or are you part of anything before that?
No. When I turned 21, my birthday's around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
My mother got me a 6-pack of 6 totally different beers.
Mm-hmm.
So we all sat around and drank them together, and I was blown away that even though they're all called beer, they were different colors, they were different strengths, different smells, and I was enamored. And I did all this research to figure out why they were different, which naturally led me into. I graduated Purdue in 2010, which is when Chris opened up.
Sure.
And it was just a natural organic fit.
What was your first brew? Did you brew with Chris or for Chris, or did you have like a home set up first?
No, I started brewing for Chris before I built my home brewery.
Right, nice.
Which was a little bit opposite of the way most people get into it.
Most people think that they're God's gift to the world of brewing at home, and then they
love the process, and I love the creative aspect. And talking with Chris on how you can create your own beers through the recipe development. That led me to want to do it off the clock.
Sure.
So I started homebrewing.
And that part interests me because I'm a food guy.
Sure.
And then I started off brewing beer at our house. I bought me and my brothers a brewing kit, and then I realized that my wife will tell you that I put too much sugar in there, and all the caps blew off the top. And I realized this is not something for the guy for a hobby. This is like somebody should really know what that is. And so, that being said, I see all your taps up here, and I see that you're like dedicated to keep doing that 6-pack mentality where small batch. Your mom give you 6 different flavors, and now you're sitting here with like 22 taps, and everything's in this cool little small batch. Why? Why is that big deal to you?
Well, I loved learning at Peoples, and then from Peoples I went to Flat 12. At both times that they were open, they were the 5th largest brewery in the state. That was a lot of fun. But I found myself making beer for Meyer, making beer for Kroger.
Right.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
The best adage in brewing is brew what you like to drink and sell what's left over.
Yeah, no, I'm 100%. I feel the same thing when it comes to cooking. Running my business, do what you love what you do, deliver more than you promise. You're not going to fail whatsoever, which is super cool. And again, small batch. That means sometimes it's one and done.
For sure.
Literally, it's just one and done, and that excites me because I like to see certain things. But then you're like, wow, it's gone. Are we going to get it back at some particular time?
That's always an interesting conversation with people at the rail who maybe part of our summer traffic. They've been in here over the summers. They say, "Oh, I had this beer last time I was in, and good luck. It's probably not coming back."
Nope, it's not like bacon. We can make it every day.
Right.
No doubt about that. So, your dedication to Indiana, it's super cool because obviously you were born here, right? Or you were born in Colorado?
I was born in Colorado, but I'm a Hoosier.
You're a Hoosier, yeah.
That's
So, and you're a Hoosier, and I mean, I've met your father. I mean, obviously, Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame guy, and the Purdue NIT Ring of Honor. Then he comes back to this area. What brought you guys back to Indiana? What was the big deal?
Well, Dad is basically Atticus Finch in Delphi,
right?
And growing up, being very successful in basketball, had a good name, and so when he started his practice. Right. Really wanted to play off of that.
Sure.
He is Atticus Finch. He's been an attorney in Delphi for 35 years.
Yeah, it's always odd because, one, if I know an attorney, that means I got in trouble. But this is a different story. Hats off. Because you're taking Indiana spirits, you're taking Indiana brewery guys, and you're taking some of these small guys and putting them on the map. Because I take a look around, I never really noticed Three Floyds, and they outgrew being a small brewery.
Yep.
Still a great brand. Same thing, Peoples. Chris, a really good friend of mine. Outgrew it. But now you're part of this section that says, I am a small brewery, but I'm also going to give chances to everybody else, whether it be a distillery somewhere, Fenwick in Rensselaer, or Hotel Tango, or any of those kind of things. Why so much about these little guys, or our guys, our Indiana guys?
Well, I enjoy supporting Indiana-made products because I'm an Indiana producer, and I've been on the other side of it where you're fighting against Shock Top to get a similar beer on that line.
Sure.
I've been on the end where you want people to support you, so I want to give people that opportunity. And being in this industry now for 15 years, most of these producers are close friends of mine. So it's an opportunity that I have to support my friends, but also bring something a little bit different to Monticello that you don't traditionally find in areas like this.
So you call yourself a factory. When you take a look at the Lafayette Brew, there's a word pub and the word factory. Is it a factory because of where you're at, or a factory because of why? I mean, there has to be something to that name.
For sure. You know, Copacetic was always it was Copacetic Brewing Company when I started my home brewery. They say breweries brew brewers. And so once I started in on home brewing, you got to give it a name, you got to make it real. So it was Copacetic Brewing Company until I worked at People's for about 2 years, and I realized that it is a factory. We could be making glue, but nobody gets together at the end of a shift to share the glue, right? It is a factory. It's very just production. And I changed my home brewery name then to Copacetic Beer Factory, right? And when we opened up here, this building just captures that. So we kept the name. We were going to change it a bit. But.
And again, I love brands. I mean, don't get me wrong, whether it be a Nike brand, but there's something to say that I'm going to go to a brand. If I'm going to say something, I always use the word Copacetic.
Sure.
But I also say you just got to see the place. Now, whether you like, I'm an old style guy. Whether you like anything whatsoever, this is a cool brand that actually delivers a lot of cool stuff. And we're going to talk about your food shortly and how you've developed this new. I mean, you're taking brisket, you're making it into burgers, and we're gonna taste some. To my best knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
That part I'm looking forward to. All right, so what's your favorite brew, style of brewing? And considering your name is Dr. Hopstein, I would have to assume hoppy is like your choice. And don't get me wrong, if you don't say old style, I won't be hurt.
Okay, no offense. My favorite beer is whatever's in my glass.
Yeah, anything that's open.
First and foremost. My favorite style to drink are hoppy beers. Sure. Like Dr. Hoppenstein.
Right.
And my favorite style to brew are dark beers.
Oh, wow.
The aromas that take place in the brew house, just unmatched.
So you're talking to the general public, when somebody says dark, is that porter style, is it Guinness style?
Yep.
Is it oatmeal stout style, which one of my favorite dark beers is oatmeal stout. That's if I'm going to have one, especially in the wintertime, I want an oatmeal stout.
Porters and stouts, they use darker roasted malts, some chocolate malts, some black patent, roasted barley, some of these deeper caramel malts. When they hit the hot water, basically my job is to make oatmeal. When I make the oatmeal using that dark grain, the smell is just unlike anything else. So those are my favorite ones to brew.
Sure. And I think if somebody walks in on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and they can smell that, that's a good seller. It's kind of like having a cool pizza joint and somebody fires that up.
Yes.
There's a reason that people put the chocolate out at a certain time of the daytime so they can do that. All right. One of my last questions. All right. You're a young kid. You're a young kid. This is a big game out here, and you're young. What's next? What's next for Sean, and what's next for Copacetic and Scoreboard? Where are you at? You're too young. I mean, let's talk. Tell me.
No, it's. I think even knowing that this question was going to come up, I've thought about it, and I think that moving forward, the future is really staying the course, because our course has been constantly changing things. Different recipes on the brews, experimenting with new menu items, always just having a little bit of fun, monthly wing sauces, more or less making it an experience for the customer that comes in, rather than we go to the same old, come in time and time again, but I want the experience to be different. And so playing these different avenues, trying different things, I think that's what we have been doing, but increasing that and doing that moving forward.
I get that. You always experiment all the time. I've seen every different flavor. You've had some idiots come in here, some of our good friends be idiots and trying to brew some weird stuff. That being said, that's fun. That's the hobby. Fun. That's the bonus part about it. But realistically, we've watched all kinds of things brewed into beers across the board. I mean, I've seen, and I'm a bourbon guy, I've seen people come up with peanut butter bourbons and hot whiskey bourbons. What do you think's the next run? Where are we going next? And don't say White Claw.
No.
I mean, talk to me. Where's the next brewery? Because I've watched some come and go, 7 years is a good. That's pretty solid. I mean, you're not slowing down. I mean, there's not slowing down. So, where do you see the next generation going, or are you looking at something in that back room that you're doing for the next generation coming up?
My son and I make sodas, which is fun, and that's as close to White Claw as I'm going to get.
Yep.
I appreciate the seltzers and the non-alcoholics, and they have their purpose and their point of being around, and I support all that. What I would like to see more here is, and in brewing in general, is circling back to traditional styles.
Sure.
We've got IPAs with sugars and fruits, and it looks good when you're trying to sell it, but make it just a good IPA. I think that.
And again, you go back to IPA. You went to IPA. That's the basic. Every small brewery goes straightly. They really go to the hops. I mean,
hops sell.
And again, I'm an old style kind of guy. So you're gonna tell me, man, I'm gonna take that American PBR. I'm gonna take that American old style. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. And I just started because I didn't like hops. I got burnt out. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, this is my second time here in the last month, and I'm hopping her up again because I could.
Sure.
They got out of hand, and now they're starting to come back where the flavor tastes good. Yes, that's for sure. My guy's coming up with some food. All right, so bring it over. Let's see what we're looking at here, man. All right, let's do this. So this all right. This is all right. This is thrown off, but don't worry, I can cut this and we can just put it over the side. But listen, so tell me what this is.
All right, so what you've got there is our half-pound beef brisket burger with the smoked Gouda, the veg on a brioche bun.
Right.
And I went with, in kind of some Kirby's honor, I made my own kind of triple hog here. Yeah. I've actually got a pork belly.
I was going to say, that looks like a triple hog.
Yeah. I got my pork belly patty, our house-made bacon, and pulled pork on top on a pretzel bun.
Sweet. So we're going to set this over here because I'm going to take, my wife's going to take me, because I'm a guy. I won't cut my sandwich in half, but I will take one kick-ass bite out of that thing. Set that off to the side. Can you do that for me, man? I appreciate that. This is our chef right here. Yeah. All right. So I'm a bourbon guy.
Sure.
All right. You're a brewer. So that means not only brew beer, but you got the concept of alcohol and blends and stuff of that sort.
Yep.
I can see you going into spirits at some point in your life, as young as you are. I can see that personally happen,
Sure.
For sure. And of course, the taste tester would be me because I don't think you like it that much.
Naturally.
Yeah. But,
you're right on.
Anyway, do you ever thought about that at all?
I have. They really changed the laws a lot, maybe 8 years ago, on artisanal spirits and small batch spirits, and then it's changed a little bit, little fine grit sandpaper for the past 10 years almost. Okay. And it's something that is closer to being within reach and something that I'm interested in.
Yeah, I get that. So we're going to cut it right here. We're going to regroup back over. Thank you, Lake Freeman Coffee Roasters. We give two damns about coffee for sponsoring this, and also DT Kirby's downtown Lafayette, Chicago Sports. All right, guys, we're back. Now we're bellying up. This is the whole purpose of Belly Up Broadcast. I had an opportunity to talk to Sean back over here. Guys, here with Sean, owner of Copacetic and Scoreboard. Now we're going to talk about Scoreboard and Belly Up. Half the reason I like Belly Up is because I'm selfish. I want to sit at the bar, I want to drink a couple of cocktails, and have some good food. Anyway, we're sitting here. Sean, talk to me about this brew right here.
Well, you were drinking the Buck Wild IPA. The Buck Wild is an experimental beer, one of my favorite style to brew. I had a customer come to me and said they had buckwheat honey. I don't know if you've ever had buckwheat honey. It is 10th level honey. And so I was excited.
I'm from Chicago. We don't
is
anything called buck is. I'm not sure. But,
it's intense.
Right.
And a lot of times when I'm brewing, I treat it like the show Chopped, where I'm giving a certain amount of ingredients and I have to make something worthwhile.
Sure.
And so it's fun using the honey for that. I got some buckwheat grain in, and then the hops are still in there, but not as big as a normal IPA because I really wanted to showcase the honey and the grain.
which falls more to my sweet spot because I'm not a huge hoppy guy.
Sure.
As much as we've known each other, I mean, I've had it. I mean, even people's original one was like too hoppy for me at one particular point.
That was a big one.
It was a big difference. And all right, so what is this one right here? So this doesn't look like a hoppy beer.
This is not a hoppy beer.
Okay.
This is, I go through seasons. And as things start to warm up, I'm getting out of my dark beer season and into my kind of lighter beer season.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is our White County Wit, albeit in Carroll County.
Yep.
This is a Belgian wheat beer.
Had it many a times here.
This is one of my go-tos.
Right.
Coriander, orange peel.
Right.
Nice light drinking, easy beer.
Yep. Not quite lawnmower beer. And you couldn't have five of those and mow the lawn unless you don't want your line straight.
Sure.
And otherwise it would be fine.
I still need to figure out how to enjoy a beer with the zero turn.
Yeah, see, I got rid of my Dixon zero turn because we have an acre out there. I got a little sidecar to hold on to this, and so I am like about halfway through. She brings me out a shot of Jameson and then another beer. So it's kind of like it takes me 3.5 beers to mow my lawn. So zero turn, at my age, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
All right, so here's part that I love. You know me, I love food.
Yeah,
I love food, and so this is your typical. This is your brisket. You use the flat and the
point. Yep.
Right? You grind it in-house.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and this is a half pound, right?
That's a half pound burger.
That's a half pound burger.
Yep.
And I get all the trimmings. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Brio bun.
I think we put some smoked Gouda on there.
That's it, yeah. So, and I love smoked Gouda and I love brisket. So, I've got a little cocktail here or something to do, but my bottom line is when you're talking about brisket, the nice smoky flavor of brisket and the Gouda smoke on top of that, I think red onion should automatically go on burgers for sure.
I agree.
And again, we got two calls here. We got the call of the lettuce, tomato, and all that going on the bottom or it goes on the top. It's a big debate. I mean, it's a hamburger debate. And again, I'm a burger pizza dude with throw in some Jameson or some bourbon on top of that. So my theory has always been, and I get yelled at all the time, the lettuce and tomato go on the bottom so the juices don't soak up on this other one. And other people said, why would you do that? Because now you're going to ruin the lettuce. I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'd like to ruin the bun or ruin the lettuce. But here's the thing. It's a look right there. See this? Is that not beautiful? It looks beautiful. Now, one-handed is how a grown man eats a sandwich. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that before?
That's fair.
So yeah, take a look at half pound brisket, Gouda. Look at the red onions, tomatoes, and fresh lettuce. All right, let's get that side. Now you're talking burger, right there. Once again, I love brisket. I can taste the brisket. I can taste the smoke out of that.
Sure.
I really can. And so, when you're looking for a burger that doesn't say everyday burger, I would say come over here, take this. You don't have to build it the way I do. I just think Gouda and brisket taste great together. No doubt about that. One more bite. Really good, man.
Awesome.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
Now, there's an opportunity, that is just whole packer brisket, ground up with both muscles, and the only binder we use is lactose sugar because I use it to make our milk stouts and such.
Right.
So really simple, and just take a good cut of meat and let the meat speak for itself.
And that you did that on the flat grill. There's some pictures of it on the flat grill. Great. Again, if you want something that's not your everyday burger, I want you to come here, give this one a shot. If you don't like it, give me a holler. I don't really care, but I think you're going to like it. All right, talk to me about this one.
So we don't really have a prescribed set of burgers. It's all build your own. And so what we went through is we kind of picked our patty. I went with pork belly. So we just grind up the pork belly, use the lactose sugar. There also has our house-made bacon. So when we split the belly, half it goes bacon, half it goes patty. Right. And some smoked pork shoulder on top, which reminds me of, for the most part, it's like the same thing, right? Maybe it was ham on it. But my favorite sandwich I've ever had was the triple hog.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is kind of my, and it's on a pretzel bun.
Yeah. And on a pretzel bun. I like that.
And this is a quarter pound, because there's a lot of meat on here.
Wow. What you expect? Right. You don't mind?
Go for it.
No, guys. Look at that shredded pork. Look at that. It's just falling off of there. And again, I saw it. I saw him patting it right there, right in front of me, and put it on the grill. And pretzel buns are always good. The nice part of pretzel. Wait, let me cheat a little bit here. Okay. All right. Ready?
An onion ring would be real nice on that. But.
I got a chef's tip coming in. You won't know about it. I'm just going to put that in the video later on.
Okay.
All right, the chef's tip. Only because I'm narcissistic and I always have to. The smokeness on this. What else is in this? There's a little heat. Where's the heat coming from?
So the heat is, in addition to the binder that we use in the pork belly patty, I put a little bit of barbecue rub in there. Just to give it some character, otherwise it's pretty bland without something. So that's the paprika coming through on the barbecue.
Yeah, it tastes that. I mean, first bite didn't taste it as it's set through as it lays on your tongue. No doubt about it. The chef's going to bring us out some sliders just to give people an idea. However, if you're gonna put something together, you have to have a cocktail. This is my favorite part of our Bellyup right here. So, obviously Oh, Dive Life, that sounds like Kirby's. Anyway, there's a couple of tricks of the trade when you're doing this. Normally I would make a cocktail, but we're eating brisket and smoked stuff. So cocktails do go good there, but we're drinking a beer already. I don't want a cocktail with a beer, but I want something to sip afterwards. So what I did was because Oak and Eden is an Indiana brew.
Sure.
And so it's made down in Lexington. It's distilled in Indiana. It's bottled someplace else, but it's a double oak toasted. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put that in there. We have two things. The chef's trick for this, I'm going to tell you how to enhance something very easily by not putting that much effort into it. Because so many people do so many over the top stuff. Sometimes you just want to go back down to the normal.
For sure.
So. I don't like to water down my bourbon or whiskey or anything like this, but so I use the big cube because it takes longer to do this. Normally I would have the glass here, but it doesn't fit in my cool little lunchbox. So we're gonna pour this over the top. This is Oak and Eden, and actually they have a piece of wood inside there. Again, distilled in Indiana. And we're gonna put it just to the bottom of this, just to get it chilled, so you can still taste the actual bourbon itself, the double oak. And then as it melts down, it gets a little softer for you because you're still drinking a hearty beer. You're eating some big food, but you want to relax. So in this one, because you do a lot of smoked stuff, I brought a smoked chili bitters.
All right.
And the trick, or the chef's trick, or the guy's trick, or the self-indulged guy, he wants to do it. So I'm going to take this bitter, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put just a couple of drops. This gives you a little bit of a chili smoked flavor. Oh yeah, because you're gonna dig this. I mean, really, because it's a whole different. The bitters is kind of like a new way to do it. When you round this out, I'm not gonna get it too chilled because I don't want to take it away. So see how quickly that drops?
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So and then this one is a woodsy smell. This one's got a wood flavor to it. Again, staying with your brisket and your smoked flavor profile to it. That one I don't have an eyedropper for it. So I'm gonna put that on this side. Wow, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna enhance this to add flavor to the culinary experience that we're having right here. Sound like a plan?
That sounds wonderful.
All right. So give that a shot. We'll sip off of both of us. Neither one of us are going to die today, so we can do it. Now you're going to be able to smell that woodsy. You're going to smell that doubled oak on top of that.
Yeah, big oak.
And then now see how that ice cube finally dropped inside there? You're going to get just enough chilled. So you're getting this nice bourbon. That's it's 98, I think, or 94. But you're not getting that bang.
Sure.
That little bit of the ice, but the bitters take away from that low burn. But
I can get all of that. I can get the oak.
Yeah.
And the
that's why
chili.
That's
nice.
why you do it. So that's our tip is, even if you're making a gin and tonic, don't use these kind of bitters. I would suggest that you use a citrus bitter and just pour it in the ice cube, scoop them around. So what happens is that citrus pops, a little bit. So that's the Belly Up broadcast tip of the day. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. It's not bad.
It's a good whiskey too.
Try that one.
It's very good whiskey.
That one's got the oaky flavor to it, and this has got the chili flavor to it. I don't know which one I like better. I like both. If I was having this, I'd have it with that, because the chili with this.
I can totally see the
vice
pairing.
versa this way. No doubt about that.
Those are both
Anyway.
fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm going to shake his hand when the sliders come out. We'll pop it in. We'll take a couple of bites of sliders, and I can edit together.
Can do it. Awesome.
Cool. You can shut it off, yeah. So the chef came out, and we've got 4 sliders, right? These
4
are your
sliders.
Signature sliders, everything fresh ground, to my best understanding.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Take a look at this cookie. Right, this. That's top and bottom. That's not. He didn't grind it. He didn't grind that. They ground these pieces right here, no doubt. And then this right here. So talk to me. Which one's which? What do we got?
Well, what we've got here is we've got 4 of our base patties. This is the ground beef brisket. This is turkey. Again, we grind all of this in house. This one is our pork belly, and this one is chicken.
Okay. So I'm excited because I like food. I like food.
Sure.
And I like burgers. So I've already had this one right here, right?
Yep, this is beef with cheddar. That is turkey with provolone and Swiss. The pork belly, I think, has pepper jack on it.
Okay.
And the chicken has Swiss.
So if I'm smart, I'm going to start with the pork belly and then work my way to the softer. No, the other way
I
around.
would maybe do
I'm on the way
turkey,
around. All right.
chicken,
Okay.
and then work into it. They're definitely softer
So
flavors.
is this the traditional size of your slider right here?
Yep.
So this is a slider plus.
I like it.
Is it? It's like if you had like 3 sizes, small, medium, and large.
Yeah.
It's like the large slider.
This is a large slider
It's
for
like
sure.
All right. Turkey. My favorite way to cut pickles the long way.
It's classic.
I don't like. Yeah. There's just something about it I like. All right, Kurt. Let's take a look at this. Single bite. I know how it's going to taste.
There's a benefit. They're all tallow on the flat top, so it adds a nice tallow flavor there.
What he means by tallow, it's beef.
It's beef fat,
Beef.
yeah.
It's beef fat. It just makes it. Originally, McDonald's fries came from beef fat and a touch of sugar. People don't know. So, wow, nice double combination.
Yep.
Texture of the turkey, right? Texture of the turkey is still solid. It does not taste like a brat. Meaning, sometimes when people put turkey in things, they break it down so much that there's no texture to this. This has true texture, which is a big deal because so many people think they're eating healthy. You get turkey, they're sacrificing flavor.
Correct. Yep.
This is not sacrificing any flavor whatsoever. One more bite, just because. Pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, no, that's the newest one that we've added is the turkey. But again, it's just the lactose sugar is a binder and a little bit of seasoning in there. Just turkey can be kind of plain, so we spice it up with our turkey's blended.
Very good. Okay. Excuse me. See what happens once you start eating. Texture alone sells that burger if you do somebody to buy it.
Sure.
Right? Just the texture, because otherwise, I just don't think turkey would taste good as a burger. But when you grind it in the house, which you do, makes a big difference. Chicken?
Chicken.
Right. So, this is going to be interesting. My wife is a chicken fanatic. She takes a look at all chickens everywhere across the board. There's a couple restaurants we don't go to anymore because they have a shitty chicken sandwich. That's a lot of pressure. Well, I'm eating it right now. She'll have it later and she'll go, come here.
Sure.
Or she'll go, yes. All right. Chicken? What's on top of it? Swiss?
Swiss and provolone.
Swiss and provolone? Is that bacon on the bottom or is this just...
No bacon on it.
So this is a nice little seared on top of that. All right, here we go. Now, come on, man, come on in. So here's the point that I didn't realize that Sean does not open on Tuesday, so I'm inviting customers in. Take a look at his face. He's like, what the hell, Don? What are you doing to me? I need to go home to my wife. But no, what am I doing? I'm encouraging people to kind of walk through the door. Once again, look, he'll get you a beer. He'll get you a beer. Does he want to? Probably not. But, you know, he's looking at me. He's going, come on, Don. You don't know anything about what I'm doing over here? So the bottom line is he's doing it, and I'm encouraging, and then all of a sudden, boom, I look up, and I realize, oh, my God, he's not open. And now I've got to kind of recover. But Sean, as a professional, he takes it in hand. I'll probably hear about it later. I bet my beer cost me $25 next time. Anyway, cheers, and thanks, Sean. To our sponsors, thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. Bellyup Broadcast. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate everything you did today.